Hi, I'm Betty. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a twist on the traditional macaroni and cheese. It's not a gourmet dish certainly, but it's a million times better than the blue box from the supermarket. First we're going to make a crumb topping. I've got some fresh breadcrumbs. You can see they're quite coarse. You don't want them too fine. I did these in the food processor, put them in the pan and toasted them lightly for a few minutes. I've got 3 tablespoons of melted butter here, and I'm going to grate in a little bit of garlic. I love doing the garlic on this microplane grater because it's so nice and fine. You don't get any unwanted lumps of garlic. And I'm just going to stir this in to make sure it's nicely combined. Make sure we don't get any big pieces of garlic, and just drizzle this over the toasted breadcrumbs. Okay, now to that I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Just give that a toss. This will make a nice crunchy topping for our mac and cheese. If you don't want to go to the bother of this, by all means you can use the panko, the Japanese breadcrumbs, but don't use the fine breadcrumbs. They just won't work. I have here the leftover rind from the Parmesan cheese. Don't throw these away. Put them in a bag, put them in the freezer. They're wonderful for adding to sauces or soups. There's a recipe for a cauliflower soup on my website which uses a piece of Parmesan rind. Great little treasure for your freezer. I'm melting 4 tablespoons of butter, and to that I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. I'm going to stir that in and add just a little bit of salt, about a 1/2 teaspoon or so, and I'm going to cook this flour and butter mixture for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring all the time. Anytime you're making a cream sauce, you want to cook your butter and flour together for 3 to 4 minutes to get rid of any floury taste. My butter and flour have cooked for the required about 3.5 minutes, and now I'm going to start adding 3.5 cups of whole milk. I'm going to add this a little at a time in the beginning. Stirring to make sure we have no lumps in there. I've added about half of my milk, and you can see the sauce is perfectly smooth, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of it. There we go. And we're going to cook this stirring for about 6 minutes until it comes to a boil and starts to thicken. My sauce has come to a boil. It has thickened slightly. You can see it's about the consistency of heavy cream. And I'm going to let this, lower the heat rather, and let this cook gently for another 10 minutes or so, stirring it occasionally. My sauce has finished cooking, and I'm ready to add the cheese. I have here a total of 10 ounces of cheese. I've got 8 ounces of finely shredded, as you can see, sharp cheddar cheese, and in that I've got 2 ounces of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to start adding this. I'm adding the last of the cheese, and you can see because it was finely shredded, it's melting very quickly and smoothly into the sauce. And there we have it. I have here a pound of elbow macaroni, cooked and drained, and all ready to receive the sauce. I'm going to add the sauce to the cooked pasta. And get every last drop of that sauce. Oh, that does smell good. Set that pot aside and we'll mix this in. Now, I've used the white cheddar. You could, of course, use the yellow if you prefer. The only difference is a little natural coloring that they use. All right, I'm going to add in about a cup of diced ham. This is just ham from the deli. I had them slice it about a 1/4 inch thick and then diced it, and some peas, frozen peas, which I have defrosted. You don't want to add them frozen. And we'll just fold those in, make sure they're thoroughly combined. That looks pretty good. Now, if you wanted to cook this all in one, you would put it in a 9x13 dish. I'm going to put it in a smaller dish for Rick and I, and then I've got some little pans ready because granddaughter Emma is stopping by tomorrow on her way back to school, and I'll make up some of these for her to take back for a quick dinner for her. This will serve 6 people generously. Serve it with a nice green salad with perhaps some tomatoes in it, and you have a nice easy dinner. And I'm going to top this with the breadcrumbs that we prepared earlier. This will just add a nice texture to the finished dish. Nice little crunch on top. And that's going to go into a 350 oven and bake for 15 to 20 minutes until it's golden and bubbly. I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you'll check my website for additional recipes.